Hello, Endless Honeymoon Podcast listeners. We're glad you're listening. Please subscribe if you haven't yet. 5-star us, leave a review, and come see us live. We're actually going to be in Portland, Oregon.
December 19th, 20th, and 21st with a live podcast on December 22nd. We have guest Ian Carmel from Portland. And also, if you live in Portland and you have some relationship issues that you would like us to address, please let us know. Contact us through the podcast, and maybe you can come on our show.
Yep, it's endlesshoneymoonpod@gmail.com if you want to come be on the Endless Honeymoon Podcast taping live on the 22nd of December, or just come see us do stand-up that entire weekend. Go to portland.heliumcomedy.com. Also, Bay Area, the next month, January, we don't have the exact date, but we will be a part of the SF Sketchfest.
San Francisco Sketchfest. And also, if you live in San Francisco or the surrounding areas and you have some relationship issues, give us an email, give us a call, leave us a secret.
Yep.
Tell us why you want us to talk to you.
We will have you on the show there as well. sfsketchfest.com, portland.heliumcomedy.com. Let's start the show.
Hi, Moshe.
Hey, Tosh.
How you doing?
I'm good.
I like doing the podcast because then I get to think about when we fought.
Why does that make you happy?
Well, because it helps me reassess, and then I realize our fights aren't that bad.
No, we don't really fight. You and I, we kind of, what do we spat, I guess.
Well, the fight we had this week, which I think we can open up to the public.
I think it barely qualifies as a fight. I cheated on
debate.
Natasha, and she got weird about it, I guess.
No, it's a debate because I just feel very strongly on my point of view, and you have this.
Really? You really think you were right on this?
Yes.
Here's what the deal is. I came to Natasha's taping. She's taping a brand new CBS sitcom. She's one of the stars of the upcoming CBS sitcom Broke, only on CBS. I came to see her, came to support her. She did a great job. She's truly the Lucille Ball of this generation. And then at the end of it all, I was hungry.
Me too. And there's not a lot of places that are open, past 10 p.m.
But there are some. But it was 9:40.
So Moshe has this thing where he doesn't want to go into a restaurant right before they close, even if they're still taking tables.
Even as you're saying it,
it needs to be 30 minutes.
You paused even as you were saying it, knowing that it sounded bad coming out of your mouth.
Well, if people take reservations until 10, I don't see why you can't show up at 9:55.
Here was the deal. Natasha was like, it's totally cool. And it's not a big deal. And I was like, first of all, I was just like, I feel uncomfortable.
No, but this is something you've brought up many times in our relationship.
Why
for 7 years, you don't want to go to a restaurant if it's if they're going to be closing in 30 minutes.
Now, let me ask you, why would I bring it up many times in our relationship of 7 years?
Because everything closes early.
What would necessitate me bringing that up multiple times in our relationship?
I always want to do it.
Because you always want to do it.
I used to be a waitress. It's usually $50 to $100. Who doesn't want to make $30 extra dollars or $20 extra dollars?
Wait, it's going down so rapidly. It started 50 to 100, now it's 30, now it's 20. But wait, that night, I said, you used to be a waitress. Would you like it when people walked in 5 minutes before closing? Natasha did a stunned silence, turned to the wall, started looking at the lattice work on the wall and was like, oh, this is an interesting design, and then never answered the question. Did you like it when people... Oh, I remember what you said. I go, did you like when people walked in 5 minutes before closing? And you went, I was a cocktail waitress, honestly, so I don't know.
Right, because you never want more drunk people to come in and order a $5 drink. But what you might want is, we sat down at that table, we spent $70, and we gave them a tip, and we were out before everybody else.
Listen, it happened to work out. Although,
so what's your cutoff?
My cutoff is...
If a restaurant closes
my
at 10
comfortable
p.m.
cutoff is 20 minutes.
If the restaurant says, we stay open till 11:30, but we stop seating people at 10, you won't come at 9:55.
No, that's so different. I feel like I'm in a rhetorical trap right now. If the restaurant says we close at 11:30, but we stop seating people at 10, so there's an hour and a half until they close, am I going to be uncomfortable? No, this restaurant closed at 10, and it was 9:50 when we walked in.
And I called, and I said,
no, you didn't.
Yes, I did. I said, can 2 people come in right now? And she said, yes, as long as you get here before 10.
And we walked in. What'd they say?
Hi.
And then?
We can seat you?
No. They were like, oh, well, okay, but you have to order right now. They do this, that thing. You got to order right now. And then what was happening by the time we were in like the third sushi roll?
The valet came and gave me my keys.
That happened. And then also another man came out with like industrial cleanser and was like putting seats on top of the table and scrubbing underneath it. The deal is, this is my opinion, and I don't know because I never worked in the restaurant industry. In fact, my first job as an actor in Hollywood, I was on the show Whitney, and I cast as a waiter, and they gave me one of those waiter aprons or whatever, and I was trying to tie it, and I said to the other actors, like the other day players, I was like, how do I tie this? How do you tie a waiter's apron? And they were all looking at me with sheer disgust. They were like, have you never waited tables before? And I just moonwalked onto set. But
I waited tables for like 10 years.
And would you like it when people walked in 5 minutes before closing?
It depends on if they gave me money.
Of course they gave you.
I'm there for the money.
Did you like it when people walked in 5 minutes before
No, but
closing?
I was appreciative that I got more money.
So no.
I don't know. I mean, I just think that when there's very limited options and a place says you can come in and they still want to serve you.
But the difference is
then why not eat there if there's nowhere else to eat?
The difference is there's owners and management who all they care about is making the most money for the day. And then there's waitress and waiters and bus boys and bus staff who just want to go home after a long day's work. Those are two separate sort of brain trusts. So yeah, the person answering the phone whose job it is to always say yes because the owner will fire them if they don't say yes, you can technically come in. Is going to say yes.
We're going to do our first honeymoon poll. We will have a yes or no. Tell us who you agree with. And
how are they going to do it?
We'll have our team create something that we'll tweet out.
Okay. Hell yeah.
Okay.
I think people are going to side with me finally.
Well, maybe they will. And also...
Wait, I feel like in your tone, you're a little bit... like I just made the best argument of the whole thing, and you just were like, okay, well, we're going to go to the poll. So I feel like you feel like I'm right on some level.
I do, but I also
Wait, you do?
Yeah, of course. Like, I understand wanting to go home, but like, if you work at a place and they still say they're serving and you go in and you're not like the last people there, you get your order in by last call, you eat with everybody else, and then you leave.
What's your cutoff?
If the restaurant says I can still come in, I'm probably going to still come in and know what I want to eat.
You don't have a cutoff.
10 o'clock. If they say they close at 10,
it's 10.
I'd say 10:04. Is my cutoff.
I am curious what people think if they're on my side or your side. So if you're on the workers' right side, you want to stand up for the working man who's having a difficult time just paying the bills and needs to get back to their family, you vote for me. But if you're more on a management/owner side, this is like a Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders versus like Biden, Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg kind of thing.
But the only thing is, on my side, the workers are getting more money.
That's true.
So that's another thing to consider.
I got an idea.
Okay.
You and I, we can, first of all, the biggest thing is I've told you it makes me uncomfortable. And you're like, I don't care. I want to eat at that restaurant. Like, isn't that enough that I don't enjoy the meal?
Not when you don't have an alternative.
I don't enjoy the meal.
I know, but not when you're not offering somewhere else we can go, and now everyone is like starving.
Everyone?
Me and you. I'm just saying you can't be like, no, we can't go there, and then it's like 10:30. Anyway, this is a very niche argument.
No, I think this is a universal argument. I think it speaks to the universal truth in all of us.
And I think the reason why it makes you uncomfortable is because you have issues. In that realm that you need to get over, like when we're traveling, you're afraid to ask someone, excuse me, is this, do you know where Saint-Germain is? And like you can't ask someone, you're too embarrassed to ever ask anyone what street.
Saint-Germain?
I'm just saying, I remember in Paris, you were afraid to ask someone.
That is not because I have a hard time interacting with people. It's because I don't know French. And I'm not going to walk up to him and go, excusez-moi, Saint-Germain?
Is it true that you don't like asking people for anything when you're traveling, even when you're in an RV park in America?
I'm not a fan of it. No, I don't like making people. I don't. No. I don't see the connection, but no, I don't like doing that.
You just get embarrassed by like confrontation in like a public way.
Yes, I care about people. I think I agree with you when you say that.
No, I just mean like if it makes your life easier, be like, excuse me, do you know if we make a right to get to this place?
To get what place?
I don't know, if we're traveling in a city that we don't know.
What might the name of the street be?
Saint-Germain. Okay, well, let us know what you think. If people are interested, we can discuss further. But before we go, I wanted to play our first...
it's our first unsolicited advertisement for the Endless Honeymoon podcast.
And it comes from Maria Bamford's father.
Yeah, as you know, Maria and her lovely husband were on the podcast last week, and her dad listened, and this is what he had to say about our show.
This is a message he left to Maria.
I just listened to your Endless Honeymoon broadcast and thought it was fantastic. I think I'll subscribe. All those issues that people don't talk about, and now you make them open and good examples, and phone calls in are really great too, to expand, whatever our set of beliefs are. We know there are people who have a whole variety of other ones. So congratulations, kudos to you and to the host of the show.
The host of the show. You know who that is? Mr. Bamford? That's us. That's me, Moshe Kasher.
And me, Natasha Leggero.
I got a lot I loved about that message. First of all, he called it a broadcast, which I felt like really was, I think, a pretty high honorific for what we're doing here. I'm literally barefoot right now. It's a broadcast. Second of all, I could hear the plates being washed in the background. I felt the hot, refreshing wind of Americana, of the Minnesota tundra as the dishes were clinking together in the background. It made me feel right at home.
And I also liked how supportive he is of his daughter.
And he's going to subscribe. He's not just supportive to his daughter, he's supportive to us. Have you subscribed yet? Probably if you're listening, but maybe you're just downloading this. You should subscribe, and you should 5-star it and review it too. It helps. And then he said, Canudos. Canudos to you and canudos to me. Canudos to all in the honeymoon family. Hey, honeymooners, let me ask you a question. Are you stressed out, addled with anxiety, rippling with chronic pain, or do you have trouble sleeping at least once a week? In other words, are you alive right now? Because everybody in this country has all of these symptoms, and not all of us want to take some kind of oxycodone, Oxycontin, prescribed Western medicine bull doo-doo.
Enter Feels. Feels is premium CBD delivered directly to your doorstep.
CBD.
It naturally helps reduce stress, anxiety, pain, and sleeplessness. Try it today. If you have trouble sleeping, it can help you too. Become a member today by going to feels.com/honeymoon, and you'll get 50% off your first order with a free shipping.
That's Feels, but not F-E-E-L-S, FEALS.com/honeymoon. Grab some CBD, pour it under your tongue, and watch your anxiety wash away. Feels.com/honeymoon. FEALS.com/honeymoon. Half off CBD? That's a good deal. Natasha.
Yes.
You have perfect titties.
Well, I didn't used to wear a bra.
I know, and I loved those days.
And when I was pregnant, I didn't really wear one, but I did have very big boobs then. But
I loved those days even more. But since you started working at a job, what have you started doing?
Wearing a bra.
Because you don't want to show your nipples at work.
That is true.
Yeah.
I forgot I told you that.
But it's hard to buy a perfect bra, right? It's hard to find one that fits.
Enter Third Love. Now, I took their quiz, and I'm a half size. That's why bras weren't fitting me. I'm a A.5.
Oh, I love that half, baby girl.
But there's over 14 million women who've taken the quiz. Why don't you take it? Third Love comes to your door, hands down the most...
Well, wait. It's not a man that comes to your door and cups your titties. They'll send it to you.
Exactly.
They send you a bra that's perfectly fitted to your titted.
And Third Love donates all of their gently used return bras to women in need, supporting charities in their local San Francisco Bay Area and across the United States. So far, Third Love's donated over 15 million in bras. So go to thirdlove.com/honeymoon now to find your perfect bra fitting and get 15% off your first purchase.
That's thirdlove.com/honeymoon for 15% off today. Third Love knows there's a perfect bra for everyone, so go to thirdlove.com/honeymoon. Oh, hell yeah. It's our first international call that wasn't
it's not.
Time we called England. It's our second international call. Is it?
Let's talk to Sarah in Edmonton,
Alberta, Canada.
Hello?
Hi, is this Sarah?
It is.
Hi, this is Moshe Kasher.
and Natasha Leggero.
Hello. Hello. So happy you guys called.
How's Edmonton?
It's not snowing, so that's really exciting. Usually this time of year we have snow.
You know, Sarah, I used to date a guy in Edmonton, and I've been there many times. I spent many Christmases there.
You know what? It's gotten a lot safer and quite a bit nicer, so you should come back.
Why? Did Edmonton used to be pretty hood?
No. I thought it was nice.
It used to be called Deadmonton for a while.
Oh, shit. Deadmonton. Well, you guys had a Canadian murder rate that was in the high 2s. That's how dangerous it was.
I think one year we had a pretty high murder rate, but things have gotten so much better.
You guys are like an oil town, right?
We are, and
oil and improv. Those are their main outsources.
That seems like your experience. Wait, is Edmonton?
Yeah, we actually had Greta Thunberg come into town recently, which was really cool, and that really pissed off a lot of the folks who do work in the gas and oil industry here. So
right, of course. I just want to warn you though, we are a hardcore anti-Greta on this podcast. We just cannot stand her. She is so precocious, and we don't like that. Wait. I want to get to your issue, but Edmonton, is that the one with the big mall?
Yes.
Yes, West Edmonton Mall.
I spent a long weekend doing comedy at the comedy club there, and I saw something very funny at that mall. I'll never forget the image. I had a lot of funny things that happened that weekend, but I'll never forget this particular image, which is that the across from the comedy club there was a Hooters, and
yes.
And I walked out into it's a long weekend there because there's nothing to do. Although I've been back to Edmonton since, and it's a little prettier than I realized, but it was winter. So all you could do is go in to do your comedy, spend time in the mall. By the way, your mall apparently has homeless kids living inside of the mall. Do you know about that?
That was a huge problem in the late 90s, and I think they've fixed it, but I mean, they're probably still down there.
Isn't that wild? The mall was so big and open 24 hours a day that homeless teens had moved into the mall full time. They just never left the mall. Anyway, so I saw a Hooters waitress walk out. She's in her little crop top and her little shorts. And then there was a janitor that was working there that was like she was a Muslim lady in like full hijab, but I don't. But I mean like the Saudi, the full on. All you could see is the eyes, and they were walking toward each other, and it was such a like. It was like almost I wanted to paint it. It was like a Norman Rockwell like in reverse painting of like, wait, who? Two sides of the women's movement, like what? Who's objectified here? It was really interesting. Anyway, I guess Natasha seems unimpressed.
No, that's very interesting.
All right, fine. Sarah, what's your deal? Why'd you call?
Oh, what's my deal? Okay, so my deal is I've been with my partner for 2 years. We have a great relationship, like very fun and playful, and we love each other quite a bit. We have known each other for many years. We were actually like middle school sweethearts. We lost our virginities to each other in grade 9. Very scandalous.
Oh, wow. This is like both sweet and also tawdry at the same time.
Yes. And so we recently reconnected 2 years ago, got together. And my question is, in this day and age of constant distractions, do you guys have any tips on connecting a little bit better when you're just having those kind of inane day-to-day questions? And my real question here is, sometimes if I'll be in the kitchen and he's watching TV or on his phone, I'll say, hey, do you want to go over to so-and-so this weekend? No answer. Hey, do you want to do this? And it's just met with a blank stare of, what did you just say?
I'm sorry. We're actually having some technical difficulties, and we're going to have to
Moshe
cut
doesn't want to
call.
talk about this because he does this constantly.
Oh, sorry. Unfortunately.
So, Natasha, how do you deal with that? Like, do you have any tricks? I mean, sometimes I just want to pull out that like teacher move where you flash the lights on and off to get children's attention, but I don't want to patronize them, but I just get so frustrated.
Well, I definitely repeat things like up to 3 times because I'm not being that annoying because I honestly don't think he heard me the first 2 times. So I'll usually do a 3. I'll repeat it. That's one thing, but that's not really a solution. I mean, one thing, I think I've talked about this before, but my therapist recommended to try to do 15 minutes in the morning when you don't have your phones, and we'll kind of put them aside and drink coffee. And that's usually when I barrage Moshe with the schedule and make sure, because he also is not a very good schedule keeper. I'm just now getting him to use iCal.
How did this turn into a roast of me? How about your fucked up man?
I'm just saying I sometimes need to remind you because we have the baby and, different scheduling things. So that's a good time where I have his attention, although it is in the morning when he's kind of a zombie. So,
well, yeah, we do this thing where we stack our phones for 15 minutes in the morning. We put them on top of each other, and I
set a timer.
Yeah, we set a timer, and like we literally don't look at the phone for those 15 minutes, and we talk and check in for the day. But let me ask you this, Sarah. Are you guilty of this behavior too? Because I don't know, maybe your relationship is different, but in my relationship, we have one partner who complains a lot about phone usage, but also does the same thing, but only thinks that the other partner, and I don't want to say which one is which partner is which, but she will use her phone and ignore me as well, but somehow it's not problematic when she does it, but when I do it, it's sort of like a core issue.
Because maybe the person who you're talking about, me, does it like once a day and you do it like 40.
But so, Sarah, are you guilty of this behavior too?
100%. As much as I would like to think that I'm not, I do know that I do that. And so I do like the tip of having the 15 minutes, cell phones down, check in, and maybe, discuss those kind of inane questions.
And don't call it a check-in. I wouldn't call it a check-in. Like, you don't want to like overwhelm him. I tried to phrase it to Moshe as more of a romantic thing.
Yeah. So what she'll do is
I like that.
She'll set the timer and she'll slip her negligee off and just she pours olive oil all over her body. She's Italian. So you guys are Canadian and in Edmonton, so you'll have to pour like petroleum oil, like just straight up crude. Because it's a more Canadian thing. And then we just,
it's super cheap up here.
Yeah. We just make love every morning for 15 minutes. And if either of us reach climax, it's a bonus for the day. And if not, we have something to look forward to.
No, we usually do this over coffee.
Yeah. And the other thing that I would suggest, well, two things. I have two suggestions for connecting because, yes, we're all super distracted. I find, and I'm a little corny sometimes, even though like my image is that of like a super cool sex symbol, I can be a little corny. I like to create sort of conversational ritual, not just with Natasha, but just with people in general. Like when we have a dinner party or something, I'm actually into the thing where we all answer one question as we go around the dinner party. Or on Thanksgiving, I like the part where you say what you're thankful for, because I think it creates meaningful conversation, and distraction is running so quickly that it's difficult to get to that meaningful part. And the other thing I suggest to get to meaning is to get outside. I think if you guys go camping together, I know you guys are in Canada, so there's beauty up there. Go out to the woods, because there's a natural response that I have when I get into the woods or the mountains or the beach, which is to put my phone down, look up at what God hath wrought.
That is a really great idea.
And do it with your the guy you lost your virginity to, who I can't tell if you're that into.
Oh, she's into it.
No, you love him?
Love him so much. Oh, yes. We have a great relationship. And I know this question wasn't as spicy and kind of dramatic as some of the others, but I just wanted an excuse to call in and get some advice.
I think everyone in relationships are probably suffering from this. So thank you for for your question.
Yeah. No, it's more universal than some of the stuff we get on here. And I have a question that's also pretty universal and on everybody's mind. Like, did he fuck better now or in the 9th grade?
Oh, definitely now. It was super awkward. I was wearing a training bra from Zellers at the time, which was all ripped, and that really stands out.
Your training bra was ripped? You got a lot of use out of that, huh?
Just bursting. Oh, Sarah, thank you. Good luck. It sounds like you guys have a good relationship. Thank you for your call.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Natasha, I'm a Jew, and I stink, right? I love deodorant, but I don't like smelling like my great-grandfather's Old Spice or some kind of like sport. You know what I'm talking about?
Or you know what's the worst? Powder Fresh.
Powder Fresh is bad, or like Ultimate Sport. I like a deodorant that works, but that smells pleasant, the kind of smell I want my body to smell. Well, Native has been making they sent us a couple of these deodorants, and I love it. There's like
smells good.
It smells super good. It's like a cucumber lime situation. There was a coconutty situation.
You can go to Native and check out the 8,000 5-star reviews from their customers.
I would give them a 5-star review. I'm wearing it right now, no joke. Also, I don't want aluminum up in my armpits, and Native, aluminum free.
Yes, and also it works. So it doesn't just smell good. Seems to work. Moshe has not smelled stank lately.
And usually I stink like a straight up old fish. But these days, I smell like fresh salmon.
Get 20% off your first purchase. Visit nativedeodorant.com and use promo code honeymoon during your checkout.
Yeah, that's right. Go to nativedeodorant.com, code honeymoon. Natasha, you've got horrible, prickly, hairy Italian legs. And
I have noticed I haven't shaved a few days, and you always notice.
I don't mind it, but I will say this. The reason that they become prickly sometimes is because Natasha's been trying to use a men's razor, and it literally won't work on her legs. It won't shave her legs.
Can I just say that you don't even have an attachment to your razor? You actually hold a blade up to your face because you can't find the attachment.
I lost the handle.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know, but what's right with you is the way your legs have been feeling since we started trying Flamingo.
Flamingo makes body care for women with hair. It's a whole set. It's got a razor. It's got the gel. It's got a little suction so that when my baby's in the shower with me, she can't grab it. It's perfect, and I love them.
It works. It was actually created by the same people that started Harry's, who are the people that send me the blades that I don't have the handle to, so I just hold the teeny tiny little blade. But Natasha's a grown woman, so she has the handle, and her legs, they're looking smooth, silky to the touch.
It's a $22 value for just $16 with free shipping today when you visit shopflamingo.com/honeymoon. Visit shopflamingo.com/honeymoon.
You kind of messed up the read on that last one.
I got it.
Check this out. Visit shopflamingo.com/honeymoon.
Now it's time for Secrets.
Hi, Moshe. Hi, Tosh. I'm a 16-year-old listener from California. I've been a really big fan of you guys ever since I was about 11 or 12 years old. And my big secret is that my brother is an asshole. So whenever he makes me mad, I go in his room and I wipe my ass on his pillows and I watch him break out. I know I'm a bad person for this, but I don't care because he's such a dick to me. Okay, love you guys.
There's so much about that call that I love.
How does he know that him wiping his ass on his brother's stuff is making him break out?
Hey, do not shatter that guy's beautiful illusion. First of all, there was a lot going on there. His tone was so sad. And when he said he was 16, I was like, oh my God, this is going to be our first, I want to kill myself call. I really thought, I don't know. I don't even know if this podcast is a good idea. Then he got to his actual secret, and I was like, oh, this guy's just a comedian. He just goes and puts his fecal matter on his brother's face and laughs at him.
I hate stories like that because I always feel like I'm going to be the victim of something like that.
Oh, you are.
I mean, why not just tell him, say, please stop treating me this way?
Oh, yeah, that often works with a bullying older brother. Please stop treating me this way. This is a guy who's been listening to Moshe Kasher and Natasha Leggero since he was 11 years old. He's more creative than having an emotional, mature conversation with his brother. He's going to just wipe shit on his brother's face. I love that guy.
Aw. All right, let's hear another one.
Hey, Natasha and Moshe. Yeah, my secret is I'm a drug and alcohol counselor, and I'm drunk right now, and I'm at work, and I just drink in the toilet every day just so I can get through work, because it's horrifying to hear the brutality of other people's stories. And, yeah, the clients are much more fucked up than I am, but, I try and keep my situation down to a reasonable level. Calling from Australia, by the way. See ya.
Here's the bad news, mate. You're not fooling anyone. Was that pretty good?
You don't think people know that he's drinking in the toilet?
Oh, they know. I knew the first time I heard that Australian lilt, I was like, this guy must be drunk right now.
He did sound drunk.
Oh, he sounded real drunk.
And he's at work right now, so he's going to get fired.
Absolutely.
But isn't there can't people drink vodka and they can't smell it?
That
Isn't
is
that a thing?
such a funny alcoholic myth.
I thought that was true.
That's what alcoholics tell themselves to try not to get fired from their drug and alcohol counseling job in Perth, mate. I go into the toilet, drink a Foster's.
I mean, as he probably knows, the problem with drug and alcohol abuse, from what I learned from reading, I'm not in any kind of program, but I read Alan Carr's Easy Way to Stop Drinking and also Easy Way to Stop Smoking. And what he describes it as some kind of, what is the plant that it's a spiraling plant. And if you have a drug and alcohol problem, you're falling down. It's the kind of plant that it has spikes if you try to go back up. So I forget what it's called, but you're always, once you go down a certain level, you're only going down and you can never get back up until you get worse and worse and worse.
Well, it was a funny idea that he thinks the reason he drinks is because other people's alcoholic stories are so traumatic that he must drink to cope with them. But in fact, probably you're drinking to cope with your own story.
And it's a slippery slope. So even though right now nobody knows, you're probably going to get fired.
But the truth is, I don't know what it's like in Australia. It's possible that people drink so much in Australia that guy is actually a paragon of sobriety. He's like, oh yeah, that's just John, mate. He drinks all the time, but he's a good bloke.
There's an ice machine in the bathroom, so you can make a nice cocktail.
He's drinking in the toilet. Oh, fuck, man. I think you should look into another line of work and probably eventually check yourself into your old place of employment. Good luck out there.
Thanks for sharing, though.
Hey, this is Anonymous. I'm telling you a secret about my husband, and I'm hiding in my closet right now. I don't know if you guys are going to think this is funny, but we were on a long car ride once talking about Family Feud. And we were talking about, what would a silly subject be? And for some reason we said, ways when you can't poop, what do you do to make yourself, more comfortable in the bathroom? And I was like, that's crazy. And my husband was like, yeah, just normal things, take off all your clothes. And I'm like, what? And he goes, yeah, take off all your clothes, turn off all the lights. I'm like, are these real things that you do? He's dead serious. And so then he goes, yeah, take off all your clothes, turn off all the lights, and use your shirt as a fan. I just thought it was so funny.
Use your shirt as a what?
There's no more mystery in our relationship.
Use your shirt as a fan.
What does that mean?
I guess her husband, when he can't shit, takes off all of his clothes, turns the lights off, and starts whipping his T-shirt around the top of his head like a fan to, I guess, encourage the centrifugal force to force the poo-poo out to flow out of him or something.
That's cute. I like that it didn't make her disgusted.
It didn't not make her disgusted, but they do seem like they have a good relationship. I have never heard that technique myself, Anonymous. I don't know about using your T-shirt as a fan, but I think there's some logic to it, I guess, if you move enough.
Yeah, and just eat some pears.
Yeah, eat some. Tell your husband to eat a pear.
Hey, Moshe and Natasha. I'm calling with a secret. I checked out a Brene Brown book from the library, and it was overdue, so it was time to return it to the book return, and a fizzy water exploded in my car and ruined Brene's book. But when I went to go check back out a different book, I lied and said that it was like that when I got it. So, sorry, Brene. Thanks.
I love how she thinks the victim here is Brene Brown, multi-millionaire motivational speaker with a Netflix special, and not her local public library that she stole a book from. I don't think Brene cares.
Yeah, it's a pretty square life.
I know. My deep dark secret is that I've betrayed the legacy of Brene Brown, and I have stolen $6.95 from the Jacksonville Public Library system.
Yeah, it's such a hard decision to know when you can stop cheating, in life.
Oh, in life? I know what you mean.
Because I feel like I used to shoplift when I was young, and I remember once my friend and I went to her parents' house and stole some stuff from her parents, and I used to steal money from my mom. And I definitely have lied to like get a cheaper price from things. But then I kind of like stopped doing that.
You know what's funny is I'm the opposite. Because I got into AA at such a young age, by the time I was like 16, 17, had such a rigid moral code, I would like park in a parking lot where there was no attendant, and my friends would be like, let's go, there's nobody here. And I'd be like, absolutely not. We must put an envelope with the cash in it. I was just like, I lived by...
That's why you like being police at Burning Man.
Maybe so. But I had such a rigid moral code, and as I've gotten older and more loose about such things, it's very important to be moral, for me, to be a moral person and a good, righteous person. But there's certain situations where I'm like, I don't care. If Walmart undercharged me for an item, I used to be the kind of person who would like walk back into the Walmart and be like, excuse me, I think that you undercharged me. But if some big corporation like forgot to scan an item, I'm not going to walk back into the store. So I'm actually moving in reverse. So by the time I'm 50, I'll probably be stealing from your purse.
Hi, Moshe. Hi, Natasha. So my secret is that there is a video out there of me having sex with two guys at once, and I am absolutely terrified that is going to resurface someday, because I work in an industry that is still really sexist. I know a lot of industries are still really sexist, but it is ridiculously so really sexist, and a lot of women's careers have been destroyed for way less. And I'm just like terrified that there's this guy out there, this guy who really sucks, and I'm really frustrated at 19-year-old me for not standing up to him when he just started filming, because I didn't say anything because I was, I don't know, I guess too meek. But there's a guy out there with a video of me that he said he deleted, but I know he definitely did not delete, because he was a really sketchy dude, and he just has the power to, like, I guess, ruin my life whenever he wants. And I don't know how to deal with it if it ever happens. I don't know what I'll do. I don't know even if I am very strong about it, that even if my career will survive that. So yeah, that's my secret.
I think you just, Moshe, give her a statement that she can say. She has to twist it if it ever comes out. She needs to say, I was taken advantage of by this person, and I'm, I felt at the time, exactly what she said. At the time, he did it without my permission, and you can't fire someone for that.
I mean, I think you can.
That's something they did when they were 19?
Yeah, I do think you can. I don't think
Isn't there a statement you could say?
I don't think it's right. I just think if she's in, I wish I knew what this industry was, but if she's in an industry that is, stuck in an idea that like doing something kinky sexually is enough to get you fired, like I think that you can get fired for it. What about this other guy? That's what I was thinking about. It's like, I wish I'd stood up to him. I was like, what about the guy behind you? Couldn't that guy? I mean, maybe the creep would be more respectful if the other guy, John number 2, was like, hey man, I really need that video to be deleted. I don't know. That's a tough one. This one's tough. Because what you want to do is call the guy and say, don't you ever release that. But that might be the exact thing that makes the guy release it. And
you also, it sucks to live, that's why I think she needs a plan, because it sucks to live every day thinking like, oh my God, what if the other shoe drops? What if today's the day that, all these people find this out? That's why it's like, just being very like sex positive, body positive in like some kind of statement in your head that you can say that people would have a hard time poking holes in.
Yeah. I mean,
blame it on the sketchy dude. You were 19. You were taken advantage of. You're not proud of it, but you're not ashamed of sex.
Yeah, and if the guy ever called and was like, I'm thinking about releasing this unless you pay me, I guess then you could be like, well, guess what? I'm thinking about telling everybody what you did to me. I don't know what the situation here. I don't know what the right choice to make here is. I think sometimes you just got to close your eyes, live your life, and hope for the best. I don't know that this person has a way out of this sort of Damocles.
Worst case scenario, maybe this could help. If you think of the worst case scenario, everyone's seeing it at your job. Everyone, it's like, okay, maybe they'll fire you, but you'll get another job. It's not people's views on sex tapes have changed too. I think we're living in a time where, people are like proud to be sex workers.
I know.
It's different.
That's why I wish I knew what this person's field was, because as a comedian, if I was in this position, what I would do is I would just go on Twitter and say, just so everybody knows, I made a sex tape when I was 19 and I've been terrified of it ever since. I hope it'll never come out, but if it does, know that my butt looked good, and just get ahead of the story.
But someone could not do that.
What was the story that we heard in Ken Burns' documentary, Country Music? Country legend Merle Haggard. Mm-hmm. He got his start in country music because when Johnny Cash came to San Quentin, he
was an inmate.
He was an inmate, and he saw the concert, and he thought, I'm going to do that for a living. And 20 years later, or something like that,
he all of a sudden got like on Good Behavior.
He changed his whole thing, and he became this country music. He got released, and he became this country music superstar. So much so that he was able to reconnect with his hero, Johnny Cash, and he was on Johnny Cash's primetime television show performing, and he told Johnny Cash backstage the story that he had been keeping from his fans because he had this
no one
secret.
knew he had been to jail.
He was terrified that this secret would come out and that it would destroy him.
Because he was at the pinnacle of his career. And it was a different time then, too.
Yep. And he told Johnny Cash, he said, they told him this story. The reason I'm in this industry is because I saw you as an inmate. And Johnny Cash said, let me introduce you tonight and tell that story. And Merle Haggard was terrified. And he was like, I can't have people know. They'll turn their backs on me. They won't trust me. They won't want me as a country music star. And he said, if I tell your story on my terms, on this show, then none of the publications and none of the tabloids will ever have any power over you. And so he agreed, Merle Haggard agreed to let Johnny Cash do it. And Johnny Cash came out and he said, this next performer, you may know because he's a superstar, but the first time he saw me, it was at San Quentin, and he was an inmate. And Merle Haggard said he'd never felt so free as he did in that moment. So I don't know what your industry is, but if there's a way for you to wrestle back the power of your own narrative, let's say you're a journalist. If there's a way for you to find a way to get the power back and to grab the power of your own life and your own sexuality and your own story again, then do it. And if there's not, then just close your eyes and hope for the best.
And hopefully this guy's moved on.
Probably.
It takes a lot of initiative to really try to destroy someone.
It takes a lot of evil, and there are evil people.
And he sounds like an asshole, but at the same time, he's probably moved on to terrorizing someone else.
I will tell you this. I indexed my hard drive recently because I was backing it up to the cloud because I need to get a new computer. And there were there were videos in there that I'd been sent years ago from people that I hooked up with. And I didn't even know that they existed. It would have been a decade. It's very possible that this person hasn't thought about that tape in a decade and he's moved on with his life, as sketchy as he may have been.
All right, good luck.
And also, you can email our producer if you want to send us the footage and we could take a look at it and tell you if it's really how bad it is or whatever. Go ahead and you can send it on over. You know what scares me more than any horror movie or anything in the Trump administration?
What?
Adult braces. I just can't even deal with it. You know what I mean? When you're like 40 plus and you have braces, I'm like, talk to me in 4 years. That's why I like these invisible aligners, right? They go in at night, you click them in, they're transparent. I don't need to be afraid anymore.
Well, then there's Candid.
That's right. Candid is a company that makes those aligners. They can straighten your teeth faster than traditional wire braces and be less scary. Treatment takes just 6 months on average, and an experienced orthodontist who's licensed in your state will create a custom treatment plan. They show you a 3D preview so you can see what your teeth will look like after you're done. Spoiler alert, they won't be spoiled anymore.
They'll ship your aligners directly to you, so there's no hassle going to an orthodontist's office, and it costs 65% less than braces.
So for 65% less money, you can look 65% less terrifying. With each aligner purchased, Candid also donates $25 to Smile Train, who brings safe, 100% free cleft lip and palate treatment to children around the globe. Straighten your jacked up teeth while helping kids.
Get your photo-ready smile by the holidays. Go to candidco.com/honeymoon and use code honeymoon to get $75 off. That's candidco.com, code honeymoon for $75 off.
candidco.com/honeymoon, code honeymoon.
Okay, should we take another call?
So we got Dylan and Sarah from New York now.
Hello?
Hi, is Dylan and Sarah there, please?
Yes, speaking.
Hi, Dylan. We're calling from Comcast Cable. And we wonder, who's your current cable provider?
We're very happy with our Fios, thank you.
Oh, you do Vios?
It's the fastest in New York.
No, Comcast, bitch. Comcast. No, it's Moshe Kasher and Natasha Leggero calling. How are you?
We're very good. We're very excited to be talking to you.
Hell yeah. What's happening? We're excited to be talking to you, too. We want to know about your lives. Are you guys married? Are you just dating? What's the deal?
We're married.
1 year.
Well, congratulations. How did you guys propose to each other?
He's a guitar player and I'm an actress. And I was in a show and he fell in love with me.
Are you a famous actress on a famous TV show? Is this Wait, hold on. Who is this?
No, neither of us are. We're definitely less famous than you two.
Are you Gillian Anderson and and Robbie Robertson? Is that possible?
You got
busted.
Oh my God, this is so
Comcast.
crazy. This is so cool.
Okay, so all right, you guys met working together. That's very romantic, same as me and Moshe. So what is your issue now?
Well, we have this dog, and I don't know if your producer showed you a picture of the dog.
Oh yeah, we're looking right now.
It's pretty cute.
Yeah, pretty cute. It looks actually stuffed. It looks like a doll.
It looks like the kind of dog you have to like cut its bangs.
Yeah, do you cut its bangs?
No, they just look like that, like a little ostrich tuft.
Yeah.
It's very cute.
Yeah, no, he's cute.
Like painfully cute.
This is great for your audio medium.
No, it's okay. Everybody listening right now, picture a cute dog and picture Sarah and Dylan. I think you got probably a picture of what they look like and probably what their dietary restrictions are and stuff like that. Not a lot of gluten going on over there. I think you figured it out. Okay, so you got your little doggy.
Yes, and we have found that our dog makes it difficult for us to have marital intimacy.
Well,
of any kind.
In what way?
It's always on the bed staring at you, ride each other.
Or does he try to get involved or
literally climbing onto us if she's on the bed? But
oh, she a freak. She a freak. She less cute than I thought. Natasha thought you had a bang issue with your dog, but actually you got a bang issue with your dog. So she stares, you're saying. She stares at the two of you.
And climbs on them. That's gross.
She actually, it's not even like if she just sat at the foot of the bed staring at us, I think we could get over that.
You probably even get into it.
Sort of block it out, but she barks at us. If we take her off the bed, then she just jumps back on the bed. So then the next step is we take her out of the room, and then she just stands outside the room barking.
She just whimpers and she cries, and it's so heartbreaking.
Is there like a chair in the room or something? Because what Moshe does is he is very stern with them. He is just like, get off now, get.
No, I'm talking to you when I say that.
he physically makes them, and his dog Pablo is very clingy, and he just makes him get off. So I think you just have to be.
Yeah, I make him get off. I'll just suck his dick real quick, and then I'll get to the business of making love to my wife. Wait, no, but the difference is I always thought, honestly, and this is maybe a stupid assumption, I'm realizing now, I always thought because our dogs do listen to us when we want to make love, they leave the bed. I thought the dog somehow on some kind of like animal level knew like, oh, this is like
shame or something.
Sex time for us to leave.
You think that. So she's the farthest thing from like an animal, though. You know what I mean?
It sounds like you guys baby her. You baby her too much.
Would you say in some ways she's like your little fur baby in some ways? She's more than a dog.
Absolutely.
More than a dog.
Oh, you think he's trying to make this kinky?
Yeah, no, I'm not. No, I'm trying to just like cement the image that I had of you two as like the hippest.
No, yes, we're definitely those people who are like way too in love with our dog.
I have a feeling there's other ways in your life that you're a little too like lenient with the dog, and I think that a little bit of sternness, even when you walk her or whatever.
I think it's too late, actually.
Really?
I think she's now trained.
She's a year and a half, so yeah, I think the neural pathways are pretty well cut.
But you can't have a dog who wants to like. You have to like be able to have sex.
That is true.
And you don't want to have sex while a dog is barking. That sounds so annoying. In the next room.
Unless you're into that.
Terrible.
It'd be kind of funny.
We have tried the like just tough it out and ignore it method, and not our favorite sex.
Yeah, right. That does sound a bit distracting. Although I don't mind a person like the sound of someone locked up in the other room whimpering trying to get out while I'm having sex. But that's just I have like a weird thing about that.
Totally.
I'm trying to think if this is going to be embarrassing, but if finding like a way to get a trainer involved. I mean, you're not going to bring in Cesar Millan to watch you guys have sex and like whistle at the dog when it whimpers at you. But it sounds like
if we could afford it, we would.
Money, right? Money's an issue, right? Of course.
I have an idea based on what you're saying, and I'm sure you can look this stuff up on YouTube too.
Yeah. What do you got?
Or you can like read about how to do it. But when I was single for 8 months before I met Moshe, and I really wanted to meet someone. And I had 2 dogs, and they slept with me. And I was like, I can't have a guy over with 2 dogs that sleep with me.
Right.
So I figured out how to train them to not sleep on the bed. And I got a little basket at the foot of the bed, and I trained them to go do that. And it took like 2 annoying nights of like making them do that. But then I met Moshe, and we had sex in my bed without my dogs for the first time.
That's true. Yeah.
Mazel tov.
That is what I was getting at. Was like.
You have to train them, and you can train a year-old dog.
And it sounds like your dog should you should find a way to get your dog to be used to being in a crate for just the times that you guys have sex. And I think it's either training the dog, or I think finding a specific treat that you put your dog in a little crate with one of those pig ears or something like that. And instead of having your dog whimper while you make love, you'll listen to the sound of it chomping on a dead pig ear. But I think that's the only hope that you have. You must figure this out.
Yeah, you have to just train it. You have to get him a little basket.
Yes, we agree that it's a crucial thing.
But what about a crate?
I hate crates.
So now we're getting what I know that when we hang up with you guys, what's going to happen is Sarah's going to go, so does that mean Maud can't sleep in the bed with us ever anymore? And then that becomes the trade-off.
I see.
Do you think they're mutually exclusive? Like, and again, we can YouTube this, but like, do you think that if we make it so that she has to be out of the bed for when we have sex, we then have to not sleep with her?
No, I don't think they're mutually exclusive at all.
We have 3 dogs, and they all know, and they're dumb chihuahuas from like the street. And they all, their dog seems smart. Their dog's like a terrier.
Why does their dog seem smart?
Because terriers are the smartest dogs.
Is it a terrier?
It's a dachshund poodle.
Poodles are so smart. That was a smart dog. I saw its face.
What's a dachshund poodle called? Is it like a
dacoodle? A
dacoodle?
No.
Or a hot poo? Like one part hot dog, one part poo. So we just call it a hot poo.
Yeah, there's no great portmanteau.
Okay. I don't think that you need to not have this dog sleep in the bed with you anymore. I think that it's obvious by your follow-up question that your partner is going to look at you and go, does this mean Maud can't sleep in the bed anymore? That this isn't really an issue of the dog. This is really an issue of the way you treat the dog, and you're unwilling to be stern. I mean, dogs are difficult to train. I'm not a dog trainer. I have an unruly dog.
You have the worst dog I've ever met.
I do have an unbelievably bad dog, but at least he lets us fuck.
He does let us fuck.
Yeah. And I think
huge.
It's time to get stern with old Maud. I think you get a crate.
Or just a basket, because crates are ugly.
I know, but the crate is like, you go here. And when you guys are feeling randy, I mean, you probably do this anyway. When you're getting hot and horny and ready to make love, you probably already do this where you open up a cabinet and pull out like a big piece of pig ear, right? So now you just add to the ritual.
That usually buys us like 20 seconds. Yeah. We'll keep working on it.
Oh, that doesn't sound like you're satisfied with our advice.
No, but be mean to the dog. Moshe's mean. You're like, you're feeling hot and horny, like, be like, get off the bed, dude.
How big of an apartment do you live in? I know you're in New York. Is it really small?
It's perfectly fine for New York.
I think there's a clear answer here. You get a crate, you put it in the furthest room away from your bedroom. You put a pig ear inside of it that you only give the dog when you guys want to have sex. You close her in the crate with the pig ear, close the crate, close the door, close all the other doors, put on some honky-tonk music, go to your bedroom, and make love without guilt. Because it's just, I say this to Natasha all the time, it's just a dog. It will not be permanently scarred by being in a crate for, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt here, Dylan, 20 minutes. While you guys make love.
Moshe.
My pleasure.
Just try some different things.
That's what I think.
Good luck, guys.
That sounds like a plan. We'll stock up on pig ears.
Wait, will you get back to us and tell us if it works?
We will absolutely. We'll email your thing.
But also, just this is real advice. Just know you're going to have to like work on this. Do you know what I mean? It might take a couple weeks, and you're going to have to experiment, try different things. But just I think if you focus on it, you can take care of it. I did, and then look who came into my life, Moshe.
Yeah.
And his terrible dog that now I've now inherited.
And
who
you know what?
Shits all over my rugs.
Our dogs are a little older and having some health issues. So if this is an ongoing issue and you can't solve it, we'll take Maud off your hands for $500. Can you afford that?
Okay, we'll haggle off the air.
Okay. Talk to you soon. Bye, guys. Good luck. Well, that was a great episode, Tosh. You did a damn good job.
You too, Moshe. You could be a drug and alcohol abuse counselor.
But I haven't stopped thinking about the argument we had in the beginning. I would love for our listeners to email us, endlesshoneymoonpod@gmail.com. Tell us whose side you're on. Is it okay to go into a restaurant 5 minutes before it closes, or is it not? I would love to finally win an argument on this podcast. Let us know.
Also, come see us live. We are going to be in Portland, and that's all the traveling I can handle.
We're going to Portland on the 21st to the 19th through the 22nd. We're going to San Francisco Sketch Fest the weekend of the 19th.
Next year.
And we're doing both of those dates. We're doing a live Endless Honeymoon podcast. So come see us live. Thank you for listening. And Tosh?
Yes?
Even though you like going into restaurants 1 minute before they close, love ya.
Love you too.
On your way out the door, don't forget to go to Rothys.com and get yourself some comfortable, gotta have them shoes that are made out of recycled plastic.
Head to Rothys.com/honeymoon today.